All right, with Holly Rowe. Holly, last time you were here was Alabama, Michigan. What a game! When you're here now, what do you remember back about that atmosphere that day?
You know, Alabama and Michigan are the two of the blue bloods of college football. And I just remember the fans and the hopefulness. I saw Michigan fans in the stands just crying. And what we didn't know then, but now we do, is it was Nick Saban's final game coaching. And I just think back, it was historic in so many ways. But to be on the field for Nick Saban's last game meant something to me.
What's your first memory of Rose Bowl Stadium?
So when I was a kid, my dad and I were big college football fans, and so we slept out on the parade route and walked over here to the 1992 Washington, Michigan game. We just got some scalp tickets, and so I came to the game with my dad. And to me, that's the ultimate, because he was the guy that got me into sports and got me loving college football. And then fast forward to 2006, I got to be here working one of the greatest Rose Bowls ever. And I brought my dad, and he was sitting in the stands. So to me, the Rose Bowl is this full circle daughter-father moment of time and history in college football that's precious.
And speaking of precious, where does 2022 fall in? Utah's here, so your team has made it to the Rose Bowl.
I remember being on the sidelines, and one of our coaches, Ron McBride, who kind of got Utah on the map back in the day, he was here on the sideline with me, and I went and hugged him, and we just got emotional, because your team, it's hard to get to the Rose Bowl. You know, the fan bases that are here all the time, I don't know if they take it for granted or not, but Utah had never been. And I just remember looking around and looking at the Utah fans and just thinking, I hope everyone knows how special this is. I think they did.
Tell me about the party that you hosted on this field that everybody is talking about.
Well, we had the Great Gatsby party here, and it was crazy. We had dancing on the field. We had women in great, flapper dresses, and we had a big band. And it was a fundraiser to help, preserve this stadium. And I do think it's really important. Number one, it was an awesome party, and I think that everyone had a great time. We were just saying we need another one, a different theme maybe. Maybe it could be like a Beach Boys party, or let's think of something fun. But it was epic, and it was really cool, and I just kept looking around thinking, I'm partying on the Rose Bowl field right now. Is this okay? Is anyone going to yell at us? But it was awesome.
You mentioned it was held to raise money to preserve the stadium. Why is it important that places like the Rose Bowl Stadium, America's Stadium, are supported, for legacy drives and things like that?
Well, to me, the Rose Bowl Stadium is the epicenter of college football and sports in this country. If you think about it, I think it was in 1926, the very first radio broadcast ever of a college football game came out of this stadium. The first cross-country transcontinental radio broadcast of college football came from that press box right there. This is a piece of history. The first televised college football game was right here in this stadium. And this is just history that you can't grab out of thin air. And so to me, I think the Rose Bowl is the heartbeat of college football. It's my favorite place to work. Anytime I get to work here, I pinch myself. And we have to keep it strong. It's built in 1922. We have to keep it strong. And I think it's a piece of American culture that is worth preserving, is crucial to preserve.
It was Terry Bradshaw who said the place will speak to you. He said, "Close your eyes and you can hear it speak." What do you hear?
So, I had this really out-of-body experience here at the Rose Bowl. I was sitting in the press box the day before the USC-Texas game, and I was working with Keith Jackson, and it would be his final game calling college football. He was the voice of college football for my entire life. And Keith Jackson and I just sat in the press box by ourselves as the sun set over the mountains, and he told me his favorite stories about the Rose Bowl. And I just remember thinking, I wish I could be recording this. This is history. And I just remember sitting there just very respectfully being quiet, letting him tell me his greatest memories of the Rose Bowl. And that will forever be maybe one of my greatest cherished memories of my career, of Keith Jackson waxing poetic on his best Rose Bowl memories.
And here we are unveiling an Archie Griffin statue, the fifth, and out there the third one ever uncovered was Keith Jackson.
Right, as it should be, because think of all the games he called, all the names he called, the moments, and that I got to share this final moment with him in the Rose Bowl will forever be one of the most precious of my life. Whoa, Nelly.
Thanks, Holly.